Hi, I'm Steve Semlis,
I'm Chris Lacey.
and this is our show, Cooking for Bachelors. And the concept of the show is, rather than wondering if you, at the end of the date, are going to get the girl home, why not start there? We're going to show you guys in a few minutes with a very minimum dollars how to make some amazing food and make yourself look like a rock star in the kitchen. Isn't that right?
That's right.
So, what are we doing today, Chef?
Today we're gonna learn cooking with beer. We're gonna cooking with beer.
Nice.
Beer is it has so much flavor in it. The hops, the barley. They love taking into brewing beer itself.
Yeah.
I mean, why use anything else?
Okay. Okay. Cooking beer. And is there gonna be meat in this dish as well?
There is. We're gonna braise a piece of pork shoulder into like a pulled pork. We're gonna show you how to make a beautiful barbecue sauce that's been in my family for years, and we're gonna braise it in beer.
Now, you told me that what we're gonna learn today, guys, is actually the thing that got you to become a chef.
It is. When growing up, my parents, whenever they barbecue, my mom always made this sauce. And when I went to the University of Florida, I was up there and I would barbecue during the tailgating games and stuff. And I'd make this sauce, and it was what got all of my friends to be like, hey, maybe this is something you should do for a living.
So you actually bottled the sauce in college and would sell it to your buddies?
Yeah, they loved it so much that I would end up making huge batches of it. And they put it on everything, keep it in the fridge.
Well, in the show notes, guys, we're going to show you exactly what you need to make this. And the steps, but Chris is going to walk us through it right now. We're actually going to make it right now. So what are the things we need to make this dish?
What you want to start with is a pork shoulder, boneless. You can get them at Publix. It's really cheap. It's less than $1 a pound.
So any national grocery store should have it. And beer.
We have some beer.
We're going to need how many bottles of beer for this?
3.
3 bottles of beer. And you got your Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, yes, exactly that guy.
And, liquid smoke.
Liquid, it just makes it smell smoky. Some ketchup. You got some, what was it?
This is a mustard seed. We have a little Tabasco.
Okay.
And some brown sugar for sweetness.
Okay.
And that's basically it for the sauce.
And we have butters in case you want to have some bread later.
Exactly. Well, the butter we're going to use when we braise the pork.
Okay. All right. So what's our first step?
The first step is just going to be to get this pan pretty scorching hot.
Okay.
While you're waiting for that.
So on the stove, we're putting on high.
High. Definitely high.
And the pan's dry right now.
Pan is dry. We'll add a little bit of butter once we get ready to throw this in.
Okay.
You want to make sure you season heavily.
A lot of salt. Look at that.
The reason for the heavy seasoning is that you're only getting to season the outside of the skin on this one.
Okay.
But when you actually use it, it's all going to be broken apart from after the cooking.
So that's to cover all of it.
Exactly. You want to really get up in there.
A lot of pepper too. You're using. Okay.
And a lot of the seasoning will also come when you add the sausage.
Okay, I see the marbling, but this looks like a very lean piece of meat to me.
It is. It really is. A lot of the technique of braising is really interesting because it's first seared to lock in the juices, and then it's basically half boiled. Braising is to cook partially submerged in liquid.
Okay.
And generally, when you would braise, you would use a chicken stock or water or wine or something like that.
I'm smelling the pepper now.
But we're using beer. You know.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Okay. So you've salt and peppered.
Salted and peppered.
Very a lot. Very generously.
We're gonna get some butter.
A little bit.
Oh, a lot of butter.
A lot of butter.
We're gonna go for a lot of butter, probably about half a stick.
Wow, really? Okay. And once again, you're pretty much always using unsalted butter.
Yes, I would just rather have the salt myself.
Okay.
It's one of those things. It's kind of really crisp up all the sides of the pork itself. Get the fat up.
Show the camera there.
Just gonna let it go in there.
And you use a pot, because you're gonna put beer in there.
Right, exactly. You can use any type of pot, something with some walls. You don't want to necessarily do a pan, just because when you bring it in and out of the oven, the risk of spilling on yourself. You know?
Right. Okay.
It's a little bit more hazardous. So you can see that we're getting a really nice color and sear, really locking in all the flavors in there.
Okay, so we can start so we should just look at this for 4 hours now.
This part the rest of it is pretty kind of set it and forget it.
Okay. Now, how long for you it's easy because visually you know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the first time I'm doing this, how long am I on each side?
You can keep going, and don't be afraid to underdo a side and then come back to it.
Okay.
But what you really want to get is when you rub your finger across it, you want to almost feel sandpaper. You want to feel some resistance.
All right. Okay.
You don't want it to be soft or smooth. You want to definitely feel like a char on the outside of it.
And are you going to turn it on both sides too?
Yep. All the way around. And don't be afraid to even almost burn it a little bit. Like it really.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the beer is going to rehydrate the skin, and all the moisture from the inside is going to, anything that's crispy, it'll soften up a little bit.
Okay. All right.
So once you get a nice sear on it, you're just going to go ahead and dump your beers in.
Okay. All right. I would help you open it, but I have a mic in one hand.
This does a couple of things. There's actually a French term called de glace, which is to remove, on the bottom of our pan right now, we have a lot of flavor that's stuck to the bottom.
Okay.
All these little black bits.
That's like the stock.
Exactly.
Okay.
What this does is it pulls all that off. And it turns it, basically what we're making is a beer sauce around our pork.
This is so cool.
Dump it in. What you really want to do is kind of halfway cover it in
The beer can chicken, that's when you put the beer can inside the chicken, you open it and you let the steam come out?
Exactly. And, you know, it's just such a great
Can we,
application
we'll have,
for
to do,
moisture
we'll,
and
have to do,
flavor.
we'll have to do an episode with that.
We will. As of right now, you just grab it and basically throw it into the oven and we'll start our sauce.
Okay.
You're going to use this whole bottle of ketchup.
The entire bottle?
Yeah.
Why don't you just take the lid off?
It's like,
You just like to play with it. Like a kid.
I like the sound of it.
Yeah, but I'm all ketchup. Oh, no, I'm kidding.
So get the ketchup out.
What are you, this many?
You know, 5 squares, 6 squares. And you're going to add your mustard seed first.
Okay. And this is ground mustard seed?
Ground mustard seed.
Okay.
If you can find a double super fine ground, you know, you can always use that.
Double extra sneaky ground.
Exactly. You're going to add about a tablespoon of
Okay.
mustard seed. You're going to add a lot of brown sugar. Add about a tablespoon of Worcestershire.
Okay, so you're mixing it up there. It's just you're basically just warming it almost.
Yeah, basically you want to get it hot enough to melt the brown sugar in there, get a nice smooth consistency. The liquid smoke you want to be really careful with, not to go overboard. So you're going to just do about 3 dashes.
Okay.
That's it. A little bit goes a really long way with this stuff. You smell it already.
Yeah.
You
When you hit it with the liquid smoke, it starts coming.
see that smell?
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, it just right now.
Yeah.
It just kicked in. Oh my God. The flavor goes right through your nose too. It's just amazing.
A little bit of Tabasco sauce. And there you go.
I didn't see you put any salt in here.
No, the ketchup is pretty well seasoned. I really don't think you need it. You have a lot of seasoning on the pork itself.
Okay. Okay. So okay, now we're adding a lemon.
The juice of 1 lemon.
Just 1 lemon, and in my eye. Thank you. I'm blind now. I appreciate that.
The second time.
I know. It's like Tabasco on my legs and lemons in my eyes. Got me earlier with limes.
Here's our pork.
Okay.
Nicely broken down.
And it just sucked all the beer in. Or actually, the beer
Yeah.
evaporated, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Okay. Look how beautiful that is.
And we make that a plate. Oh, the ketchup's like napalm. You guys really want to watch out for that.
It's best to wear red when you're cooking this stuff, you know?
So you get a nice bed of pork going on there.
Look at this. This is crazy.
It's your beer braised pork.
Oh, man.
Cover with some barbecue
Just
sauce.
gets silly, but look at that.
Yeah, just mix it all up in there.
Okay.
There you go.
So-
you can put that on
so-
hoagies. You can put it over rice.
So this meal, we spent how much on this?
Maybe $12, $13.
There you go again. Okay, so there we go, guys. This is our show, Cooking for Bachelors, and once again, an amazing barbecue sauce. You guys will freak when you taste this with the pork. A great picnic item.
Definitely.
Or maybe even we did the show with the guacamole.
Yeah, this could
Do
be
that
your
first
main
and call
course.
up.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm Steve Samlis,
I'm Chris Lacey.
and if you guys have any questions or comments for our show, you can send Chris an email at.
Chef@jacksorlando.com.
That's right. And once again, I'm still Steve Samlis,
I'm Chris.
and we will see you.
In your kitchen.
Thank you.